I was really just thinking of going for one where Germany invades Poland. It's a real anime.
Be warned, I might have to take
If you
breaks
say
to take care of
Halatali,
my
I swear to God, I'm
grandmother.
gonna end you.
I don't know what it is, but at the very start, it's two guys, and one of them is like, "I'll be Germany, you be Poland. I'm going to invade you." It was
That's
pretty.
Halatali.
Please.
Is it really?
No.
It is Halatali.
Stop.
No.
I have started the recording. Please stop.
What? I'm just talking about an anime that's actually technically safe for work.
What about the one where Britain invades Japan?
That's another one. Listen, welcome back to D&D, friends. It's a D&D night. We have. Oh, what is she talking about?
I don't know.
Last session, where we last left off, you had discovered a trapdoor beneath the camp, and from there, you had proceeded down a long, a long, god damn it, a long hard shaft, where there were where there were multiple obstacles.
Yeah, there are.
Like, it popped into my head, and I was just like, why? Like, I'm 12 years old. Holy shit. But you had proceeded down this corridor and found yourself in a wide open room with 3 different exits. Well, 5 different exits technically, but one of them is where you came from, and then one of them is like going in opposite direction to what you think you might. And found yourself face to face with a mammoth, monstrous sized behir. Behirs are pretty scary, as it turns out, except for not, because y'all murdered the fuck out of that thing and then proceeded to absolutely fail to gather anything from it for the most part.
Well, we didn't fail that hard. We just
Okay,
couldn't find the
well,
glands.
let me talk about lightning glands and how they're right under the tongue.
I knew it was in the mouth part. I didn't know exactly where.
And yeah, well, the tongue weighs like 20 pounds, so maybe lifting it up is not the first thing you do. But anyways, so harvesting the behir before you move along, you know the direction that you need to take back to camp.
Only because I have a patron.
Well, also because you rolled well on a check a while back, but we won't talk about that. Nothing. I don't know. And so here we are. We're picking up right now. What are you guys doing?
We already told you what we were doing.
Did you?
Yes,
Did we?
I caught you up. I was harvesting.
You caught me up, but I haven't talked to the group. So instead of you speaking for everyone, can I get a little bit of more opinion than that?
Okay. What are we
doing? we were about to harvest, or at least I was starting to harvest.
Oh yeah, because we had harvested it. We just didn't get all the things because you had to do the figurings out.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what are you looking for off of this creature? What are you trying to get off of it?
Hide. We probably want some meat off of it to salt it, if it's edible.
Okay.
I don't know if the teeth or claws can be made into anything. I know we probably want a gland or 2 if that's possible.
Okay.
Because I don't know how many glands this thing has. It's probably 2.
Gotcha. But you had rolled for that, but I'm looking for the roll. Oh, you rolled a 6.
Yeah, I didn't roll that good.
Yeah, okay. So, off of the creature, you do get a little bit. You gain, we'll say, you gain 4 hides and 10 pounds of meat. The glands you try to harvest, but it quickly becomes quite an ordeal as they have this like long weird thing inside the gland, and you're not sure if it's really important or not, and you end up kind of ruining the glands a little bit. So they're probably not functional. But you do gain 4 hides and 10 pounds of meat.
How much is 4 hides and weight?
I'll say the hides weigh about half a pound each.
Okay.
So I couldn't try to harvest the gland.
No. This was a survival check to harvest, and I believe we discussed who was rolling for it beforehand, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember that. I remember us trying to find them. We rolled to try and find them, but I don't remember us actually like discussing who's going to gather them.
Yeah.
I believe I do, and I think we said Heather was harvesting because she had the highest survival.
I don't think
but-
I had the highest survival. I was just.
Okay, if you want to try to harvest a gland, go ahead, bro.
Okay.
I gotta find. How do you spell that monster's name?
Behir?
Yes.
Oh, come on, character sheet. You can do it. I believe in you.
It doesn't believe in itself because it crashed today. I hand the meat to Amalia so she can.
So with a
Salt it.
15, I will say you gain 1 gland.
I'll take it.
Okay.
I mainly
All right.
wanted it for study.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, question.
Mhm.
Could Zhao cast? So I'm not sure if this will work. But could Zhao cast what's the spell called? Gentle Repose on it to prevent it from decaying?
Uh,
Does that work?
Not really. It's more for like preserving bodies. It's not really for preserving like meats and stuff.
It says for or other remains, so I'm not sure what qualifies as other remains.
Hold on. Because then we're like changing the entire economy of the world.
Hello, this is what I do.
Let's see. Gosh dang it, Reddit.com. I don't want to get your freaking notifications.
Spirit, do you want to put the salted meat on? Let's see. You said it's 10 pounds of meat. How much salt would we have to use?
Would we just treat it like Pixie does? I mean, what?
I'm sorry.
General consensus of some DM friends is meat only, but yes, it would work on meat. So let's go up. Let's do it. It does not work on plants, vegetables, or other decaying matter. It will work on meats. Because those are, the remains of an animal.
Okay.
Note to self. Remove gentle repose from game.
I'm sorry.
No,
At
you're
that
good.
point, you might as well just remove salt. I mean...
Yeah, remove salt from game. Look, salt is a gold sink, okay?
Hey,
All the gold that y'all... the, 0.0001% it costs you for a lifetime worth of salt. But yeah, gentle repose will work, so.
Cool. Sorry, my voice is still kind of shot. Zhao.
Yes? Sorry, I was just thinking about how gentle repose could work on meats.
Funny story. I was too. Can you pass
How
on this gland?
strange. Yeah, sure, no problem. There's like this I don't know, this omniscient force that just seems to be guiding my hand today.
Why did I buy salt? I have gentle repose too.
Well, we didn't think about this at the time.
Yeah.
It is a valid point. These are technically the remains of a creature. If you have a fish fillet in front of you, that is technically the remains of a fish. It's just like, fuck, okay.
Magic would be so cool.
There's just, this is I will say this is probably my chief issue with D&D, is if you want a functioning economy, you can't have magic. Not like D&D's magic. D&D has magic for everything.
Yup.
Yeah. if you want a functioning economy, like D&D, pretty much Faerun is like Faerun and Eberron are like the only settings that work in D&D 5e because magic just solves all problems.
Yup.
But yeah, okay. So he casts Gentle Repose, and one cast should do it because it's all the same creature. There are now like factories out in the middle of like Waterdeep of just clerics casting Gentle Repose, just like barely trained clerics just casting Gentle Repose to refrigerate meat. Refrigerators never get invented in Faerun's future because Gentle Repose just becomes such an easy thing to do that like by the end of it everyone can do it. Instead of technology advancing, it's consistently advancing magic until everyone, you know, a 9th level spell, you see it like, you know, a couple times a day from random strangers on the street.
I think there was actually a point in D&D's history where that was a thing.
Not really. Not in the official canon. If we're talking about Faerun.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
It wasn't it like when what's his face like became, he cast like a 12th or 13th level spell or some shit like that and like fused himself with the goddess of magic and like
No, even before then, like mortals could get up to crazy high levels of magic, but like it wasn't commonplace. Like Joe Blow down the street didn't know how to cast Wish.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Whereas in like Eberron, like you'll be walking down the street, you bump into somebody, they're like, "Motherfucker, I'm a 9th level wizard. I'll fuck you up," and you're like, "Whoa, this guy's meta."
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. All right. So where are you guys going after you have successfully, sort of successfully harvested from the behir?
So
What do you mean the bullet?
do we want to salt the meat, or do we want to Gentle Repose the meat?
I thought we already Gentle Reposed it.
Yeah, Gentle Repose it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I put it in the handy haversack.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Good for 10 days.
Good for 10 days and in an extra dimensional space, so yeah. No big issue there.
How much does the behir gland weigh?
Call it 3 pounds.
Is gland spelled with an E or a D?
It's just a GLAND.
Okay, 3 pounds.
What do you mean a D or an E? It's gonna have a D no matter what.
D-E.
Yeah, but you said
Is
with
it spelled
a
with a
D or with a
D-E?
D.
No, a D. A D or a D. E. God, you know what? Whatever.
It sounded
Anyway.
like you were just getting confused there.
Listen.
One second.
Okay.
Sorry.
You're fine.
I think we should probably go back to. Yeah, I think we should probably go back to camp. Either that or we could. I don't know. Do you have enough supplies to do anything else? I mean, I know we just like kind of got that behir, but
Like what type of supplies?
like food, you know,
Yeah.
water. Let's keep. Oh, Shao can do that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can make sure that we're good on food, and then you can you do your pretzel and boom, we're tasty.
Right. So we could totally just keep exploring.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we can do that as long as we're okay with me, you know, like sacrificing some energy every day. But I don't mind.
I'm perfectly fine with
I
that.
mean, we do still have some food to get us through so that we don't have to. Maybe we just got a bunch of meat.
That's true.
And rations.
sure
We
about-
still got rations.
Yeah. I still have a few rations.
Save those for emergency, though.
Survival campaigns, not even once.
Who needs a
This is
survival
where we just.
campaign when you have a cleric?
Yeah,
Right.
this is where we just never go back to town, like ever. And we just spend the rest of the next 5 years, like exploring the tunnels. And people are like, "Did they die?" And then we come back and it's like, "Sup?" It's like, "How did you survive all that time?" We have a cleric.
We have a cleric. Don't worry about it. I'm over here like thinking of different survival tricks that we can do. To like I've changed the Outlander background slightly, and Goodberry now consumes its component. And then y'all are over here like, by the way, we have a refrigerator and a food processor. Like, oh yeah.
And we're all murdering machines, so we kill just about anything and eat what we want.
You guys are basically the Vikings.
Yeah.
Just walk into town, kill everybody, take some food. Alright.
We didn't
So-
even need to kill that one chick.
That's true.
We could probably outlast her.
She's already dead, so yeah.
No,
Oh my god.
I was talking about Haruka.
Oh, Haruka! Yeah, no, I meant Ira.
Yeah, Ayura was she was a good companion. Where are you guys headed next?
So we can either try and squeeze by the big ass lizard and go down that path, or that path that leads back to camp.
Are we actually considering not taking her body back to camp? Because I'm okay with this.
Oh, right. I forgot about her body. We should probably take that back to camp.
Just
No,
feed it to the behir.
Cause see, we can do whatever, and then when we go back, we can just say, yeah, we did all these things, and then we found this person, and then she died, so we brought her back. No
Well,
one knows time.
we
And
still
we
have
can
this
keep
gym.
reposing her body, so no one's gonna notice.
God.
Well, we still got this gym we can use to bring her back.
Yeah, we could do that too.
Yeah, I found a diamond, remember?
Right.
Does anyone actually know anything about her?
I can't know
No.
anything about somebody without talking to them or eating their memories. No offense. And I can't do it on a corpse.
So what you're saying is that we should take a rest, and ask Zhao to like talk to her corpse, right?
What? The hell?
Are you talking about speaking with the dead?
That is what I just said. Yes.
We need Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I think y'all are pretty normal. Rel isn't.
I was perfectly okay with going on an adventure before taking her body back as gentle repose.
I'm okay with it too. I'd like to know where these tunnels go.
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know about more know more about the organization.
Okay, but how does that spell work? Because if we use that and then bring her back to life, is she gonna be aware that we used that on her?
I don't think so.
I don't know, Zhao. You have the spell.
Wait, what?
Zhao has the spell. Holy shit.
Oh.
You might as well just ask the DM at that point.
I mean, yeah, it's basically it was an RP way of doing it.
So what exactly are we trying to accomplish?
If we cast Speak with Dead on her,
Right.
and then bring her back to life, will she know that we cast Speak with Dead on her? I don't think so, right?
Zhao just kind of shrugged. I'm not really in the practice of using this spell very often. I'm not totally sure how it works. I can know the basics and stuff, but I'm not 100% positive.
Yeah, I don't want to take the chance that she does know. Because,
Yeah, that might be a little weird.
What do I know about souls?
All right, Lily. So we roll a religion check.
I'm not good at these.
Yeah.
That's an 11.
No, you're not. So you don't know a terrible amount about souls. There's a lot of different religions in the world and a lot of different explanations for what happens to our soul when we die. The most the most widely accepted religion in Astoria, where you grew up, especially Arkansas, which is the temple's home, is the Astoria Ancestral Temple, and it kind of dictates that our souls move on, and we later become reincarnated, and so it venerates ancestors and stuff like that. And then the Circles is probably the second most popular religion in Astoria. And the Circles say that your spirit goes into the creation of like a tree or something else. They practice spiritism at a very raw level. So there's a lot of different explanations, and you're not terribly sure which one would be correct. It's pretty hard to know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and soul magics in Aram are particularly rare because the soul is a out of character. The soul is inherently linked to the world itself, so like manipulating the soul is like somewhat difficult. It's like manipulating a singular link in a massive chain. It's hard to do.
Oh, well.
Okay. Well, why don't we just bring her back to life?
I doubt she'll tell us.
I mean, maybe not, but we do have that note.
You mean the cipher?
Yeah.
Luckily, we've got a copy of it.
Well, what do we want to do? I mean, there's like a lot of options, so...
Yeah, let's just resurrect her while we're clearly underneath the trapdoor that was hiding underneath her sleeping bag.
Yeah,
I mean, why not?
Alright.
Better late than never. I mean, we could say we came in through one of the other secret entrances that this place clearly has.
That's fair.
Frankly of the opinion that she has no real bargaining tools here, and she's like one person, and if she really wanted to like get violent, we could pretty easily put her down. So
Yeah, like that's the worst case scenario. She gets up, she realizes we've discovered her secret, she tries to kill us, and we just like
we don't even have to
Whatever.
like kill her. We just restrain her. She's not very strong. Trust me. Just disarm her before we like resurrect her.
Yeah.
Also, maybe like I don't know, cut off her hands. I mean, just tie up her hands or something.
calm down there, Oz.
Because I know she was doing some spellcasting stuff.
Oh, you didn't actually mean like disarm her. Okay.
No. Oh, no.
I mean,
Oh,
Should we put that little box back so she doesn't know we have a copy or read the
Mm.
note?
box back?
I don't think so.
But I want the poison.
For once, I think I'm on board with Rel here. Weirdly.
Okay.
I mean, we could put the box back. You keep the poison.
Yeah.
But the box is nice.
Alright, now I'm not with Rel. Now we've gone past the logic stages, and we're
Oh,
all in
fine,
the oh, but the box is nice. The box isn't
If
that
you
nice.
like the box that much, get you to draw the box and get someone to make it for you.
I could do that.
Just use some like fancy magic to make another box or something. I'm sure there's something out there that can do that.
Alright, I'll put the box back.
Yeah.
So I take the poison capsule thingies out of the
All right.
out of the box.
That's a
Sure.
weird name for a box.
And I put the box back, and it was in her shoe, I think.
Yeah, it was at the bottom of her shoe.
Yeah.
Okay, you like click the back box back in place. Woo. And
I feel like I feel like she's gonna notice that there's like a weight difference because I feel like she's that kind of person.
It's quite
Yeah,
possible.
she's definitely weird. We could like put some pebbles in there. I don't know.
I feel
Oh, that's
like
a great
the
idea. Let's do that.
If you can tell the weight difference, sure.
I don't know. I'm just spouting out random ideas. I feel talkative today. Thinking like Rin must be really tired because they never talked like this before, but now here we are with Zhao having all the ideas. What the fuck?
It's
He's
okay,
okay.
Shao.
I feel like these are just like thoughts that Zhao has every now and then. Just like random like, huh, whoever's puppeteering me has some ideas. Zhao, the character, is like slowly gaining sentience and realizing they're stuck in a D&D game.
No.
Wow.
No.
That's some
No.
Gamma World shit.
No.
That's some Ash Winter shit. What? Alright, so
Just fireball.
just fireball. I guess you guys take some pebbles and put them in there and snap it back to the bottom of her shoe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh God.
Oh.
But we still don't know anything about her.
We know she's an air genasi.
Yeah.
Is that enough to like help resurrect her? Or
Oh right. We need to. Oh.
Yeah, we have to like coax our spirits back. The
Yeah,
afterlife is pretty tempting.
Is
It
there?
was easy.
Are we able to do that through like anger?
I mean, I don't know. I just know how to make the the glowy and bring people back. That's about it. Like the actual process is pretty much a mystery. I don't think anyone in the magical community actually knows how it works, including all of the high priests.
All right.
I mean, I did we find a journal on her? Did we find a journal on her?
There was not. There was a journal, but it was in a cipher, if I recall.
What?
That's what it should have been. There was a journal, but it had a cipher.
I think that
Or
was
was
the piece of paper you're talking about.
It was the letter that was ciphered. That's right. That's
Yes.
right. Yeah. There is a journal, but it's not super comprehensive. It's not well kept. It's kind of like it's less of a journal and more of a tracker, if that makes sense. She's like tracking her supplies and stuff like that, and occasionally she'll write little thoughts off to the side and like the margins of the paper and stuff.
Okay.
So you could probably glean just a little bit of information from that, but not a terrible amount.
Fuck it. Let's read it.
Okay, you start like shifting through it. You get through the whole thing very quickly because it's mostly just like notes about locations rather than like herself and stuff. So
Mhm.
you can rule out most things. But through this, just from her notes, like her writing style and other things, you can tell that she's number one, she's really dedicated to this organization that she works for. Again, the name of the organization is never mentioned.
Mhm.
But you do see at one point flipping through this journal, there is a symbol. And it's a poorly drawn. It's a quick sketch of one, and it looks kind of like wings. And there is there's a circle around them, and in the center there is what looks like maybe a bird or something. And you see that symbol on one of the pages. And
Holy
then,
shit!
And then you go through a little further into the journal, and she actually has some like thoughts written down. You learn really quickly that her favorite food is something called curry, which is from Mirvanin. And she has not had curry in several months, and she is really wanting some curry. So that's one thing. And then other information that you glean from her, she's very methodical. Favorite food is curry. She takes pride in being anonymous. Like, she really likes the idea of just not being, no one knows who the fuck she is. So that's, like, pretty cool to her. And you also eventually do learn that she is fairly new to all of this. Surprisingly, despite her copious amounts of experience, she's never been a spy before.
Oh.
So.
Hey, you.
Yes.
Can I, do you think, that the cipher that we got from the letter matches up with locations on the map?
Does it? Which map?
Does she have a map on her?
Who, Ayura?
Yeah.
No, she does not.
Hmm.
There are like little maps here and there, but they're drawn of like the local area. Like, you can tell she's like mapping out short little areas. Most of which you don't immediately recognize.
Which map are you talking about?
No, never mind. We would need the map that she has, if this was actually the case. How many flowers did you say there were?
There are oh shit, hold on. There are 17 flowers.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
How many tunnels are there?
There are 5
Like
tunnels.
7? 5? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, I think I know a little bit to help coax her.
Yeah.
All right.
Didn't she say she knew the triumvirate?
Kind of.
Or someone from it?
I think that was Hyon. Works with Hyon. Not for.
Yeah, I think that's what she said.
Hmm.
She works for an organization that works kind of like in the shadows. Or works for an organization within the organization that's hidden in the organization or some shit like that.
It's just turtles all the way down.
Can I see that symbol that you were looking at?
Sure.
Would I recognize it at all?
Would you?
I don't know.
No. You've never seen this symbol before?
Describe it to me again.
It's like a bird within this runed circle.
Like a magical rune circle?
It looks like it's not necessarily magical, but they look like very old runes. Very old runes.
Alright, real smart. Do I recognize it?
Probably not. You can roll a history check for me.
Sure.
And you, what's your history score?
Oof.
My history score is 4. I'm proficient in it.
Yeah. Okay. Does anybody have 5 or above other than Rel?
Nope.
Okay.
I didn't pass it, so.
Y'all have never heard of this. Y'all have never seen this symbol before.
And as for what bird, I show Amalia the picture.
Can you tell what kind of bird from the sketch?
Just by the shape of the bird and the fact that you're pretty inherently familiar with these, it looks a lot like a raven or maybe a crow.
Well, it's either a raven or a crow.
It is like a quick doodle, so it's kind of hard to tell, but that would be your initial guess.
Do those runes say anything?
Do you have Eyes of the Runekeeper?
Yes, I do.
Okay, this is a very, 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 very old dialect of Celestial. This would be like looking at like this would be looking like old Germanic runes and like Celtic runes from way, way, way back in our history, basically. So reading them is difficult, but they're not necessarily an exotic language, so your eyes do kind of pick up the meaning here. The runes are essentially like, they almost seem unrelated. They don't form a sentence or anything, but there are like core principles and tenets, it looks like. And it's secrets, knowledge, security, and there's a couple others, but those are like the three big ones. They get repeated more than once. Secrets, knowledge, and security.
Excuse the horrible handwriting.
I got you.
Oh, there it is. Well, I can tell you what the runes say, if you want.
Yeah.
The main ones that keep getting repeated are secrets, knowledge, and security. Let's see. Strange symbol. Can I get a sketch of this symbol?
Yeah, you could. Not even gonna make you roll for it. It's pretty rudimentary, so easy enough.
I spelled symbol wrong. I don't really care. Fuck spelling.
That's okay. It ain't a big deal.
Bird. Crow or raven?
Oh, excuse me. Oh my goodness. I have heartburn like crazy.
Well, I think now we know two things. One, two things that we could use to help coax her back to life. One, she really wants some curry, whatever that is.
Well, you've heard of curry.
Yeah, I've heard of it, just never had it.
Yeah, you've never had it. It's not served really typically in Astoria, unless you go to like the Donswood, but the Donswood kind of is a culture mixing pot.
Sorry, whatever that's like. And we know that she seems to really believe on what this organization's doing, so why don't one of you two use the whole curry thing? Have either of you had curry?
Has you ever had curry?
There's a good chance that you has. Because you lived in Ardfidaya, which is like the trade port between Astoria and Mirvanin. And Amalia, where did you grow up?
I believe it was the Donswood.
You grew up in the Donswood? Right.
Yes.
So if you'd ever been to one of the major trade ports of the Donswood, which was basically just Arendor, if you've ever been to Arendor, then you would almost certainly have at least experienced the smell of curry, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, you can roll like a D2 if you want, based on your history.
Yes.
Okay, sure. Yeah, it's pretty common in Ardfidaya because it's one of the main dishes. Ardfidaya's diet is like a ton of like rice and curry and stuff like that. Like imagine all the like Indian food and East Asian food.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and Amalia, you've probably tried a bite or two of curry at one point. Very spicy.
Hi, Dark. That's
And
my baby.
the people of Astoria are they're not keen on spice for the most part, unless you go up north where they have like these little berries that are basically just ghost peppers. But
Oh no.
yeah, they're the people of the north are like, you want some completely and totally bland soup? I just put a bunch of these berries in it, and that's the only thing in there. And you're like, that sounds delicious, and then you bite into it, and you're like, that's like a 10 out of 10 on the Richter scale from a mouth. But yeah, so you've both had curry at one point, and Zhao is 100% had curry. He grew up in Miravining, so
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. But Zhao is the one doing the resurrection, so
Yeah.
Rel is the only person that hasn't had curry.
it makes sense. It's not served in Arkansas. Like when you go that far into Astoria, it's not considered like a good thing to eat.
She also grew up poor.
Yeah.
So.
That's fair.
Yep.
And you had the run of the entire town eventually. She eventually was able to go about normally as a quote-unquote normal person.
Living in Ardfedaya, you got a good taste of both cultures for sure, because Ardfedaya's culture is a whole lot of its own culture, but they also have very much just incorporated themselves in the cultures of both Miravining and Astoria, because they're the main trade hub of the world, basically. So it's really similar to how even like China has opened up to like certain ideals just because it's profitable.
So, one of you two do the whole offering her curry things. It's, yeah, I've never had it. So, I can think of something involving her faith, I guess you could say, in the organization that she works for.
I mean, that sounds great to me. Let's do it. Are we going to the resurrector just right here? Is that what we're doing?
Then the final person could threaten to steal her mask.
Oh,
Oh.
all right.
I don't know, she seemed really keen on it.
How
because
about
she likes secrecy.
how about appealing to her organization needing her more, other than being dead?
Well, that's kind of what I was gonna do.
No.
Yeah. Because she's dead and she has secrets that she can't tell the organization, thus she's kind of failing her organization.
Oh, I have a cat that's really wanting my attention right now. Help.
You should feed it curry.
I'm not sure if Dark would eat curry.
I don't think you should feed your cat curry. Like, let's go ahead and get that one straight. You don't feed cats curry. That's a bad idea.
No, you feed them lasagna.
They react very poorly to capsaicin.
I know they do. And which I would never give it to them.
Do
Yeah. Are
they?
you happy, baby?
Yeah, cats don't handle capsaicin well at all. It actually like is very, very bad for their intestines.
Oh.
Same with alcohol. Don't ever give your cat alcohol.
Yeah, don't pull an
told
alinity.
you. I
Yeah,
could have told you
I
that
knew-
one.
Did her cat live?
Yeah.
Yeah, her cat's fine. Fortunately.
It's just an old clip that resurfaced after the recent drama with her.
Yeah.
Did she get arrested for animal abuse?
No.
No.
Right. That's cute.
She's
No,
a huge
you leave that alone.
streamer on Twitch. And Twitch is
No.
listen, I'm not allowed to comment.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Good.
Good all good stuff. We got the good stuff in here. But ladies and gentlemen, the good stuff.
Anyway,
Alright.
so
Thank
we need
you.
a third thing. We need a third thing, right? I don't-
You said it was new to her, right?
Yeah.
Then she
She's
has
not
many
used to being a
more
spy.
experiences to live.
Or maybe she came to spying because she lost everything.
That wouldn't necessarily preclude her from actually being able to experience more life, though.
Yeah.
Like, if you lose everything, you really have nowhere to go but up.
I mean,
It's true.
Ra looks at Zhao. Would that have worked on you?
No,
My point exactly.
depression's a bitch.
It
And
is.
drugs
Yeah.
are bad.
Yeah.
He says, and you can like notice him like he's got a little bulge in the cheek.
My point is, if she's depressed and she came to this organization because she felt that she could find hope here, she doesn't have anything else.
I do feel like we're assuming a little bit, though, aren't we?
I mean, we are. It's kind of like a gamble.
Okay.
You don't intend to go to an organization unless you're looking for hope. And
Or money, or any number of things.
Knowledge, power.
I joined up with the Explorers Guild because I wanted money. There was no other motive to that. I needed money, and it paid really well.
I mean, I joined because I wanted knowledge. and
Also,
power.
forgive my accent. Apparently, the person voicing me cannot speak tonight.
I feel your pain, Zhao.
I can't believe Mother let you in here.
I can't believe she did either. What the fuck?
Yeah, Dark is
Um,
just needing away and just going around in circles wanting more loving.
So what do you think? What should we do?
Is there anything else on her, like any random knickknacks, like a hairbrush, stuff like that?
No, she is very bare bones.
Was there anything up in the camp that I could remember?
Not particularly. It was mostly just food and very practical stuff.
Hey, no!
She
God
doesn't
damn
have a
it!
lot indicating.
You just knocked my Dr. Pepper off, you jerk! And
Well,
nearly
I'm
knocked-
sure that's
I'll be right back.
fantastic. All right. There's not a lot indicating like anything about her. There's not a lot of information here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a secret compartment in her other shoe?
No. You look and you like try to poke around, and no, there is no secret compartment in the other shoe. It's just that one.
Alright, well, I tried.
Worth a try.
Does she keep anything in her bra?
Do you check?
I do.
Yes.
Oh.
There is a long needle in her bra, and you almost stab yourself with it.
Oh. Like a sewing needle?
Not quite. This is a bit more weaponized looking. Very out of character.
I'm back.
This is Sabiel's needle, pretty much, more or less. It looks very weaponized. The tip of it is burned black. You can tell it's been exposed to flame. You know how like stainless steel does when it heated up really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got that black kind of iridescent color going on. But and it was stored obviously very, very carefully.
Yeah. I searched her bra for anything and I found a needle.
Oh dear.
A very long needle and a very the base end of it, the non-pointy end, is very like much broader than a normal needle would be. All in all, it's about the length of your palm, and the tip of it is burned like black and iridescent because it's very much been exposed to heat. That much is plain.
Yeah.
But the rest of the needle just looks like it's just steel.
So, torture?
Or both.
Both what?
Well, it could also be a tool, or if you want to cauterize a, say one of your vital organs that's bleeding, and you don't want to get the outside first, you could just jab the needle in and cauterize it.
That sounds like there'd be better ways to do that. Like,
Well, not if you're a spy that doesn't have necessary medical equipment or spells to do so.
a dagger?
Yeah, stab yourself with a dagger again. That sounds nice.
I mean, you want to cauterize something, I feel like daggers got bigger surface area to actually seal the wound together. That's not for sewing.
Could be used for torture, but I don't know who she'd be torturing.
I don't know.
But
Well, if it was used for torture, it definitely would do the trick on me. That's a very big needle. Imagine if she inserted that into, like, any part of my body, I would probably just start talking. It's like, alright, yeah, you know what you know, I'll tell you.
Well, I guess this one we find out. Are there any burn marks on her body?
Burn
Or, like,
marks?
burn scars?
You can conduct a thorough investigation if you so choose.
Yeah.
All right. So you look over. There doesn't appear to be anything resembling necessarily a burn mark. And there's no real wounds on her for the most part. She's pretty wound and pain free. It looks like, although there are a couple of scars along one of her legs. They definitely just look like combat scars, though.
Question: is Air Genasi born with their tattoos, or would she have to make them herself?
Air Genasi's are typically their tattoos aren't really tattoos, so to say. They're more just patterns in the skin. They're effectively like marbling. Mm-hmm. So she would basically more or less be born with them.
Okay, I was just asking.
Yeah. They start off really faint and then they grow more and more prevalent the older the Genasi gets. All right. So, I mean, do we think that just 2 options is enough, though? I mean, we could just proceed from here, no?
And I could make up some BS. Or do what I did with Amalia. Sleight of hand trick.
What?
Yeah, whenever I was bringing you back to life, I kind of sort of straightened out a statue. I was pretty damn good. Nobody noticed.
But yeah, I mean, we can do whatever we need to do. I'm just saying, like, is she so important that we need to... Oh, all right, bye.
Oh. What?
Uh-oh.
Oh, did you see? Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think so.
I think his internet might have died.
That is then not good. We must ensure that our will remains within the session.